What's going on, guys? Troy at Mountain Man Treasure. It's been a bit, so it's time to take another look at what's sold.
Mountain Man
Treasures.
Thanks for tuning into the channel, guys. My name is Troy. I'm a part-time reseller based out of Helena, Montana. And I have not been feeling very good here the last few days. You can probably hear it in my voice right now. This is the best I've sounded in days. And so we didn't actually have a what sold video on Friday. I just couldn't, frankly, muster the energy to put one together. I couldn't actually talk on Thursday and Friday. Anyway, at least not anything anybody wanted to hear. It was pretty bad. I've started to get my voice back. The cough is less, but I'm not going to push it. So we're going to work through these as quick as we can. We do have quite a few to catch up on. This is about 4 days or so, 4.5 days of things that sold. And this weekend, it felt like it was a little slow, but we actually had a pretty good day on Saturday. Friday, Sunday, pretty slow. But otherwise, I think we did pretty well. And so, like I said, this over like 4 days or so, a pretty good list of stuff. So we'll just go ahead. We'll jump straight into it. The first thing on the list is this Disney Thrills and Chills. Got this at a recent video. I think you saw this over the weekend. I paid $1 for it, and it sold for $8.99 plus shipping. Then we sold more Christmas ornaments. I told you in the last What Sold video, Christmas ornaments will sell year-round. Shiny Bright is one of the brands to look for. Well, I picked up some of these at a recent sale, listed them, and they were selling within days. We sold one in the last video. Here is another one. These little teardrops, teal green, really cool color, sold for $19.76 plus shipping. Keep an eye out for Shiny Bright. This one is cool sale, Rising Star, this junior putter. Not a huge sale, but kind of interesting. I got this for free, actually, from our local pro shop. It was in the lost and found, essentially, and he said, go ahead and take it. And it sold to Australia for $47.72 Australian dollars. We make 10 or 12 bucks, I think, by the time it's all said and done. Then we sold a Funko Iron Man t-shirt. This one, $26.50, free shipping. That'll all profit that off a bulk buy I made a couple years ago, and we 3 or 4 times our money on that thing now. So this just a little bit extra money on one of the stragglers here. Then we sold Led Zeppelin. This one going out for $23.44, and that one going out to Allie. Allie, thanks so much for picking that thing up. She saw that in the video and said, hey, I'm going to pick that up, and sure enough, she did. So thanks so much for that. Microsoft Office. This, the Home and Student Edition 2007. I picked this up at the local thrift for a couple bucks, and it sold for $19.76 plus shipping. And guess what? More Christmas. Kurt Adler. That's a name that people look for as well. And interesting story on these. Here's the listing right here. You can see that I sold it for $38 plus shipping. That is combined because I had 2 of these boxes, and they each had 2 ornaments in it. So they paid for each of them. They paid $19 a piece plus shipping a piece, which really wasn't, they weren't going to save a whole lot on combined shipping because it pushed it up over £1. They'd have saved a little bit. I had to refund them for that. But I went to pull these out of my Christmas storage tote, and one of them had broken. These are really fragile glass ornaments, and there was nothing stacked on top of it. I think it was just old. You know, it was just age. There's probably a stress line and one little bump and a piece chipped out. These are little balloons on there and a piece chipped out of one of the red balloons. So what do you do then? What do you do when you just sold something that you can't send to somebody because it's broken? Well, I contacted the buyer, okay? And I explained the situation. I said, I don't know what happened, but of these 4 ornaments from the 2 combined boxes, one of them turns out broke in storage. So I told her I can cancel the order and refund your money entirely. That's one of our options. The other is I can refund you for one of the boxes entirely because, and I'll just keep the single. Or I said, you know what, I can refund you. I basically send you a partial refund because you're not getting all of your order, and I'll send the 3 that I have. And that's what she wanted to do. She said, thank you. Accidents happen, things happen. I understand, not a problem. And yeah, go ahead. And basically I charged her $5 for that second ornament on top of the others. So I refunded her $14. We still made a great profit because I think I paid 25 cents for these probably total. And so we were almost nothing into it, right? And we've got a happy customer now. I told her, I was upfront. I said, hey, look, this is what happened. What do you want to do? And I gave her options, and she appreciated that. And we still made a very good sale. So initially it was 38 plus shipping. Ultimately ended up, what, $26 plus shipping. That's still a huge profit. And I'm really happy with that. Another thing that we sold, another thing that I like to sell on this channel is a hat, this Ducks Unlimited hat. This was new with tags. And I sold this for $9.49, free shipping. That an offer I sent out. I had a watcher, took 50 cents off, and they bit. Then I sold a pair of Levi's 505s for $20.09 plus shipping. I shipped my jeans in a padded flat rate envelope and charged the buyer to do that. Then we sold our last Coke Bear statue. We picked up 6 or 8 of these. I don't remember how many we picked up. It was a Facebook Marketplace pickup. This is all profit now. I think I paid $3 a piece for these, and I knew they weren't huge sellers, but I knew they would sell. There wasn't really anything listed. There was stuff similar on eBay, but nothing really like these, and these were really cool, and they appeal to Coke people, and they appeal to motorcycle people. So I thought, you know what? Yeah, we're going to pick them up because they'll be cool little sellers, and they still had the styrofoam that came with them, so easy to ship. And somebody sent me an offer of $10 plus shipping on this one. It was my last one. It's all profit. So yeah, let's do it. $10 plus shipping. And then we sold this bow tie emblem off of a Chevy. It was from either 67 or 68. Both of those years, it fits. If you're wondering, how do you know that? Well, there's a number on the back of most of these original parts. The serial number. You can look it up with the serial number just the same way as you can look up a pair of Nike shoes. So if you've not looked at parts like that before, because you're not sure if you can find the information, many of them, it's right there. So it makes it really easy for you to do the research. This thing sold for $19.30 plus shipping. And then we've got an international sale, I guess our second international sale, this Better Call Saul license plate. This sold for $16.39 plus international shipping to Canada. Then we sold a single stitch t-shirt, another thing I like to scoop up when I find them. This, a Tuxedo Shirt. This is a pretty cool deal. This sold for $9.98 plus shipping. And then we sold an old book. This one, 1960 is the year that this was published. This is Ben-Hur. But the interesting thing is it was completely in German. It was a German translation. I remember the sale. It was an estate sale. And judging by the home and the stuff there, it was some German immigrants. And they obviously embraced the United States. I mean, they had flags all over the place. It was an interesting mix. It was a lot of stuff from home, obviously from Germany, but there was a lot of American flag iconography around. It was really cool. A lot of holiday stuff. They clearly were that house on the block because there was a lot of decorations and just a really neat thing. So I wanted to pick up something that was obviously special to them. And I picked up holiday stuff, and I don't know, every once in a while when I go into these sales, I get that feeling of I want something of theirs to go to somebody else and somebody that will value it. So I really didn't know the value of this book. I had no idea if it had any value, but I thought it was worth picking up. So I picked this thing up, and sure enough, it eventually sold. You can see right here, look, $23.44 plus media mail shipping. So, and interestingly on that, I put on there, if you noticed on the card there, that it was a language aid. Sometimes people use that when they're working to learn a new language. They'll read books like that, trying to learn the language. So if you're trying to sell something like that, another keyword to put in your title. So Ben-Hur, the German edition from 1960, going to its new home, which I'm very happy about. This Hot Wheels, the Firebird Funny Car. Not a big profit here, but this is all profit on all these random Hot Wheels that we have left. $7.99 free shipping. Then we sold a Titleist hat. Titleist hats tend to sell pretty well, guys. If you see them, you can get them cheap, pick them up. They're not all huge money, but they will sell pretty well. And this one actually going international. It's surprising sometimes what goes international, what people will pay extra for to get from the States. And this one, 26.87 euros, and it's going to Spain. So we make a pretty solid little profit on this hat. Then we sold another animation cell. We haven't sold one of these for a while. I've still got a whole bunch of them left in the store. Always neat to sell these. This from All Dogs Go to Heaven 2, I believe, is officially the one, because this is Belladonna, and she's not in the first one. I think she's in the second one. And this sold for $30.14, free shipping. And then this is the big one. This is one people were asking about. It really caught me by surprise. I thought it was interesting when I saw it at the estate sale. And I thought, you know what? I bet somebody's going to like that. It's the mushroom wall hanging. I think I had 6 or 7 messages, Instagram, comments on the video, emails. People wanted this thing. I was really surprised how big a deal this thing was. And so whenever anybody messaged me, I said, because I got some of them right away. I mean, we were getting them in the chat in the premiere. And so I said, you know what? There's enough interest in this thing. I'm going to list it over the weekend. So it's sort of first come, first serve. Now, typically, if you see something, send me a message and we'll hook you up. We'll make a deal on it. It's just, I was getting so many at the same time from people. I thought, you know what? I just want to make it fair and give everybody a shot at this thing. And so I put it up. And the next day, Allison came through and picked this thing up. And she said that she actually has a friend that has a podcast on mushrooms and fungus. You think that reseller YouTube videos is a niche? Try putting together a successful podcast on mushrooms and fungus. I've not tried it. And to be fair, I've not listened to this podcast, but now I kind of want to. And I'm going to look it up. And I'm going to let you know. We'll let you know how the podcast is. It seems interesting. I do time to time listen to podcasts, but you know, she's got this friend that does this. It's Jen. It's is it Fungi Town or Fungi Town? Because I think it's fungi, but it makes sense. Fungi Town, like Funky Town. I don't know, but that's the name of the podcast, and so this fits. So she got it for her friend, which I think is really cool. So Allison, thank you so much for coming back in and picking something up. And I'm sorry for those that missed out. I guess I'll keep my eye out for more mushroom butterfly 1970s wall decor. But interestingly, I was actually just in a related, rabbit trail. If you live in an area and you might maybe listen to Jen's podcast and learn about mushrooms, because Morels season has opened up. I remember Morels from when I was a little kid. I used to think they looked like spaceships. And so they were the spaceship mushroom. And they're really, really good, guys. Morel mushrooms, if you like mushrooms. The season has opened up here in Montana, and you can go and find them. Typically, morel mushrooms grow in areas where there's been a forest fire recently. Like in the next couple of years after that, there's sort of just a bumper crop of these things. And so there's an area that's north of here. I may go check out and see if I can find some, a little bit for personal use. But if you look up morel mushrooms for listed and sold, they sell very, very well. And they sell for very high dollar. I mean, we're talking like hundreds of dollars. Depending on how many you have. And so I don't know what the market is for other mushrooms. I only looked up morels because I was just curious. So if you live in an area where there are mushrooms growing, now obviously this is something you have to be sure about, and you have to know what you're picking, and you have to know your mushrooms. But if you do, there's a possibility of making some good money on eBay, literally picking it up off the ground. So just another area to look into if you're interested in that. So we're going to jump back in this soccer referees jersey, a long sleeve jersey, and it sold for $9.98 plus shipping. And then just like Christmas sells all year round, Halloween will sell all year round. It doesn't seem to sell as much for me now. The true vintage, really cool Halloween stuff will sell year round, but standard Halloween stuff, it's a little bit more sporadic for me, but it does sell, and that's why I list and keep listed Halloween stuff, masks, that sort of thing. Look at this Super Mario costume sold for $26.79 plus shipping. I paid, I think $6 or $5. I think I paid $5 for this at a garage sale. This one's a little older. I think it's 2 years old that it's been sitting there, but proof again that just leave something sitting. Eventually, it'll find the right buyer. Then we sold an LP, this new and sealed. I got it for $1. The guy was like, "Have you ever heard of Thursday?" Honestly, I said, no, I'd never heard of them, but it was new and sealed and it looked interesting. So I picked it up and he says, "I've never heard of them." I said, "Well, you know what? I'm willing to take a chance on it. How much do you want?" He said, $1. Just in case it's no good, I'll give it to you for $1. Yeah, turns out it was pretty good because this sold for $33.49 plus shipping. And then something that I picked up just this weekend. I told you I wasn't feeling well, and I wasn't, but Saturday morning, early, like 6 in the morning, I woke up. I was stiff. I was sore from being in bed so much, and I thought, you know what? I think I can get out and move around a little bit. And I wanted to get outside. I wanted to get some fresh air and just move around and loosen up the muscles a little bit. And so there was a community sale happening. There were actually a lot of garage sales, but there was this one listed as a community sale. I didn't know how many houses were going to be involved, but I thought, you know what, if it's a community sale, I can hit a couple of houses all in one area and hit multiple sales in a short amount of time and then get back home. And I was out there for about an hour and a half. I bet we hit, I don't know, 12, 15, 16 houses. There were a lot, and I probably didn't hit them all, but after about an hour and a half, I was like, you know what? It's getting to be a lot of traffic out here, and I'm starting to feel a little bit worn down again. So we're going to call it. But I picked up some good stuff, and this is one of the things that I picked up. These 8mm tapes, these Sony 8mm. This is a 2-pack, new and sealed. I listed this, and it actually sold inside of probably an hour at $19.99, free shipping. So keep an eye out for sealed older media. This absolutely sells. And then we sold another one of our Omega Anti-Bitter Chew Spray. I'm running low on these. I've got maybe half a dozen left, something like that. $9.99, free shipping. We were making more on these before the shipping went up, but I still make a couple bucks each time one of these sells. It's a quantity listing. Very, very easy. We sold Citizen Kane. Citizen Kane for $9.98 plus shipping. This was new and sealed and easy to list and sell. I like selling media as well. Miller Genuine Draft. This a cool corduroy hat. I got multiple lowball offers on this thing, but I knew eventually it was going to sell for my asking price or very close to it. And sure enough, it did. $16.74 plus shipping. And then we sold another Ducks Unlimited hat. This one, a really cool one. This was an unworn hat. You could tell it was new. It was just displayed. It had embroidery on the side of some duck calls. I could not find another one anything like this, and so I listed it a little bit higher. Usually my Ducks Unlimited stuff that I find sells pretty steady, 10, 12, 13 bucks right in there. It's a steady seller, not for high dollar, but it sells pretty well. This one was unique, so I priced it up, and sure enough, it sold, and it sold internationally, guys. $23.44 plus international shipping up to Canada. And then I sold a comic, Captain Britain #3. This one for $6.99 plus shipping. And then we sold a movie, this one with William Shatner. I think I paid $1 for this. Kingdom of Spiders, an old classic B movie, $9.99 plus shipping. Then we sold Barry Foster, his card, his autographed card. Actually, I took an offer. I think I had it listed for $16 and change. Took an offer of $14 plus shipping. And that is out the door. Then we sold a Wiimote. This with the Motion Plus inside the remote control. So it's not the little adapter. It's just built in. Those sell for pretty good money. It took a little while to sell it because I did price it a little high. It was in great shape, and I had the little silicone cover with it. So I priced it up $30.14 plus shipping, and eventually it went. And then I discovered a new game to look out for this weekend. The last thing that sold right here for the Wii, Go Vacation. If I would have had the manual, if this was complete, it would have sold for about $25, $24.99, free shipping. Without the manual, it's still sold in less than a day for $16.74, free shipping. The sell-through on this thing is really, really good. So now I've kind of discovered Go Vacation. This one right up there with Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort and that sort of thing, in terms of if you find it, list it. It's a sure thing. It's easy money. It's going to sell. This another one that I picked up. This girl was selling her Wii and a couple of games with it. She gave me, I think there were like 5 or 6 games. She had a quarter a piece and said, "I'll give them to you for $1." And the Wii only had $5 on it. And her mom says, "Yep, it's for her college fund." Way underpriced, right? This was the first sale that I stopped at, actually. And great pickup, for $6. And then I threw in another 5. I gave her 10 for the Wii. Looked it up actually when I got home. I didn't realize how good it was. This is one of the limited edition blue Wiis. They sell pretty routinely for right at $99.99 free shipping. That's their happy place. If you sell them the console with all the hookups, if I throw in a couple of games, it'll sell really easily at $100 free shipping. So we actually paid her more than she was asking, but I told her she has to put that towards a college fund, and she said she would. So I'm not sure exactly how much we paid for this game, but we made more money than we spent on it. So at the end of the day, that's what this game is all about. And guys, I appreciate you for tuning in. I appreciate you watching the channel. More What's Sold's coming up this week, I think, as long as my voice holds out and I'm feeling okay. Garage sale videos as well to come. There's some cool finds that I think I've got one that's going to surprise you that we might put up on Wednesday. The value of this thing, it surprised me. So little teaser for you. Posters can be worth some money. We'll show you coming up later this week. I'm going to cut this thing off. Before I let you go, though, I do want to mention Vintageous Finds is officially our first buyer of coffee. That link is down below in the description. Vintageous Finds went in and bought us coffee the other day. So thank you so much for that. I sure appreciate that. If you guys want to support the channel in that way, that is down there. But certainly, I don't expect that. All I ask of you is hit that thumbs up on your way out. That really does help a whole lot. If you've got a question or a comment, be sure to leave that down below, or my contact information is in the description as well. Email and Instagram, both. I get a little behind, and this coming week I have I'm filling in at my day job for my co-host, and so it's going to be a little bit busy this week. I've got some extra responsibility this week, extra duties, so I might be a little behind in getting back to you, but I will get back to you. So with that, we're going to cut this thing off. We'll see you next time, guys. Bye.